I'm back. This morning, I'm going to talk with you about hurricane season. As you know, the season began on June 1st and continues through November 30th. And this season is predicted by the authorities to have 23 named storms. The first we've already had. 11 of those will become hurricanes, and 5 are predicted to become major hurricanes. How many of you here have lived through a hurricane?
Oh.
So you could probably be telling the rest of us all that needs to be done and the preparation and how to survive that. But I have not. And so I found the book that you were given this morning, put out by Wink News, with a ton of information that's very, very helpful. And I brought many copies here. They're available at Public. Some said they've already picked them up, and that's wonderful. Check it out. Read them from cover to cover. There are some things that may not be appropriate for you, but there's just so much information, especially if this is a new experience that you're preparing for. As I said, we gave them out, and the this book, Hurricane Guide, particularly tells you how you can prepare for the season to protect your family, your home, and your property. It will help you to be aware of the supplies that you need to have on hand, how to create a communication plan, and an evacuation strategy and cleanup prospects after the storm. Also, you were given an emergency information form that we are asking you to complete and put in the basket either out there this morning or next week whenever it's available. A few years ago, right about the time that I first came in 2013, there was a committee of the church who collected data on everyone so that we could check on you if you were alone or if you're living in an area or just during hurricane season, and asked for contact numbers so that if we could not reach you in concern for you, who could we contact that might know of your whereabouts and how you were doing. So that's the reason for this paper. We want to keep track of all of you. Some of you live alone, some of you are not as able to be out and about as you once were, and so we're concerned. We want to know that you are safe and where you're located. So that's why that was given out. One of the things I found very interesting in this booklet, there is a particular section that talks about information that will empower older adults. Now, all right, we're going to admit we're all in that situation. To take 3 essential preparedness steps. The first was to assess your needs. Have the supplies on hand that you might need for 7 days. 7 days because you don't know if you'll be able to travel the streets. You don't know if you'll be able to get to the store, if they'll even be open, if you have power, whatever. Those things might be water, particularly. And they say, what, a gallon a person per day is what you need to have prepared. Also ice, and they recommend you freeze it in like 2-liter bottles so that it will take longer to melt. And when it does melt, you can keep it in your coolers to keep food cold, and also then you can use it as drinking water. Non-perishable food, a battery or crank-operated radio, flashlights with extra batteries. This one's very important. Medications that you will need for 7 days, and pet supplies if that applies to you. Second, you need to create a plan. Have an evacuation plan. Locate sites that are nearby if you are in need to find one, especially if you have a pet, you want to find one that will accept pets. Also, gather your insurance papers, your health care information, your bank information, Social Security, retirement, marriage license, passports, any important documents, put them in Ziplocs so that you would have them ready if you have to evacuate. Something that makes sense to me, and I hadn't even thought about it, if I don't have power and my phone goes dead, I wouldn't even know how to call my children because I don't know their phone numbers. They're in my phone. I touch a button and I call them. So make a list of those important phone numbers that you might want to have at your fingertips if you are not able to use your cell phone to find them. Also, finally, you need to engage a network. You need to find your, check on your neighbors, be aware of the people around you, make sure they're okay, and stay in communication with your family who's out of the area if possible, and also with those of us here at church. Check on your friends, make calls, see that they're okay. That's an important thing that we need to do. So Matt Devitt, who's the chief meteorologist for Wink News, advises, keep this guide with you. Stay vigilant during the storm season, watch the news, but prepare now. Don't wait until a hurricane is on the way to gather supplies and develop a plan for your family.
Thank